Oh, they must have.
Hutton lives in a little town on the East Coast.
Now, Hunted, did you remember him during the
Oh,
war,
yeah.
or just
Oh,
you met
yeah.
him at the reunion?
No. I met him.
He was one of in your flight?
I knew
had him?
of him. He joined the squadron real late.
Okay.
He joined the squadron probably in the early part of 45.
Oh.
And
the war ended when in 45? It ended in 45.
Yeah. But
What
I
month?
was
Do you
there. I got there in June. No, I got there in May.
Right. And the war ended in what, December? Was that December of 45?
I thought it was October.
Was it Pearl Harbor that ended?
No, well, Pearl Harbor didn't have anything to do with Germans.
Okay. That's right, because that was the Japanese.
The Japanese signed the treaty on a aircraft carrier, I think Alexis. I'm not sure.
Wow.
Oh,
Some of your best years, though, Dad.
well, the thing is, it sure would be nice to know if I'd have stayed in how high of a rank I would have had.
Mm-hmm.
However, I would have went through probably the same skirmishes
Yes.
that I did in World War II, and
Like with Korea.
there was too many things.
Now, I didn't hear a lot about the air war in Korea because, Paul was in Korea. He was a ground soldier. So, was there a lot of air fighting in Korea?
Mostly,
Do you remember?
mostly air.
There was? Okay. Because as we progressed after World War II, because of you good pilots, it became more and more air fighting.
Well, they become more accurate.
Right.
And in other words, you could kill without harming any other person many more soldiers than you could on the ground.
Correct, yeah.
And the only thing,
But you did take in a lot of civilians.
well, the big thing is on the ground, what helped them is they would, once the air cleaned up this area where there was no more enemies, the ground people would move in and keep it so that no one could infiltrate that.
Okay, so that was their job.
Yeah.
After you secured it, the pilot,
Then
the ground forces maintained it.
Yeah. They kept they kept the line away.
Correct. Yeah.
See, that's why Anzio, which is in Italy, right below Naples, that was a big killer.
Oh, was it? Yeah.
It was something like Normandy.
Wow. Now you spent all your airtime in northern Africa.
No.
I thought
Most of my time I was on the Italian country.
Okay.
The only time
Did you have a home air base?
Oh yeah, Corsica.
Okay. In France.
And well, there's a little hitch to that. We were 9 months on Corsica, which is an island owned by Italians.
By Italians, okay.
Yeah.
Is it off the shore
Where's
there?
my globe?
Your globe?
I thought my globe was here.
Do you have a globe?
But anyway, if looking at it from north and south, here's north being this being south.
Right.
If you would go to, let's say, Naples or Rome, Corsica would be to the left or to the east.
To the west, you mean?
All right, west,
Mm-hmm.
in the Mediterranean.
Right.
And the northern part of Corsica was probably less than 150 miles from Normandy, France, where the big... See, that was a massacre.
Oh,
They
no,
weren't
Dad.
prepared. They weren't prepared.
When you say they, you mean the Americans.
Yeah, they weren't prepared. They did it wrong.
A lot of men died.
Oh,
God.
thousands. What that was, visualize a bluff.
Mm.
And top of the bluff were all Germans.
Mm-hmm.
And the invasion came in on the coastal
Mm-hmm.
with destroyers and these things that would have a tailgate on it and they'd fold down. Remember them?
Mm-hmm.
Well, shit, all the Germans had to do was less than 100 yards away kill you. And all them Americans, whether they died or not, just... Isn't that something?
Mm.
Well, our job, I flew 8 missions.
You were never on the ground, were you, Dad?
No, not fighting. Our job was to go to Normandy and soften that top of those cliffs so there wouldn't be any Germans up there.
Right.
And oh God. I know I flew 8 and I imagine there's probably 20, 25 pilots flew with me, you know.
Flew just as many.
And,
You just shot.
oh shit, we was just like cutting them down with a hacksaw blade.
Mm. Were you close enough to see the men running?
Yes. I can give you one occurrence, and I don't want to talk about that part of it, but
I remember you said, Dad, you could actually see people running without their heads.
this one guy, we were troop trains. We were always after troop trains.
What's that mean, Dad?
Troop people, soldiers that were in railroad cars.
Okay, troop trains. Troop trains, okay. But they also carried ammunition.
We used to strafe them. Doors or no doors, we'd strafe through the wood. And they would go out the other side running in the field.
Uh-huh. You just...
I'd just go right here and fall down.
Mm-hmm.
And it bothered me.
Oh, I'm sure.
Like this one motorcycle. See, we tried to get cars that were running close to the front lines
Mm-hmm.
because we know they were carrying orders.
Oh, okay.
Well, this one motorcycle, of course, with a sidecar on it, you know damn well he's carrying orders up there because he's the only one that could go real fast and dodge a lot of bullets.
Right.
I saw that
From the air.
from the air. He's coming down the road. Sidecar, motorcycle, and a
I know, you're
driver.
out there by yourself? You got a complete...
Well, there was, I probably had maybe we usually went out with 6 to 8 other guys.
Aircraft, okay.
And of course the leader, in some cases, took his own target. And all we'd say to one another over the radio is, I see a motorcycle, I'm going down to get it. So the others would look around and find out other targets.
So you were able to go out by yourself if you saw
Well,
a
not
target.
very far. We'd stay together.
Okay.
They'd follow us down, follow me down to the point where they were, let's say 3,000 feet above me and maybe a mile and a half, 2 miles back of me.
Okay.
In case there was enemy fighters,
Okay.
enemy aircraft.
Right.
Well, anyway, I'll never forget it. This damn motorcycle and rider had a sidecar, and there was a man in the sidecar.
Sidecar, okay.
When I spurted my guns, they converged in one spot. In other words, all 8 caliber machine guns,
Went right
all
to,
the bullets went in one
right
spot.
to one spot.
Well, I must have hit a direct hit because the motorcycle went this way and the sidecar went that way. And of course, the humans that were in them was
Right.
falling all over.
Right.
The motorcycle was on fire. But then on the way down, I see where the rider and the sidecar rider, passenger, was in the ditch. I couldn't, I just had to hit him. And
They were still
I
alive?
just nailed him. I don't know. I just nailed him right in the ground.
Right.
But it was, you learn to live, you know.
Well, you think that being a pilot, you're so far up, you don't even know what you're hitting. But in your situation, Dad, in your experiences, there were times that you actually saw your target.
Oh yeah.
You saw the body, the eyes, the head,
Oh,
the
yeah.
arms.
Yeah.
Because nowadays, the pilots of the bombers and the fighters, they don't see their
They
target.
don't see that. No.
Other than on a little screen on their their TV. But you actually saw, maybe even the eyes. You actually, no, probably not. But you actually saw the bodies of people.
I saw bodies that were running in the fields, carrying a gun under his arm.
Right.
And I burst of my,
Yeah.
cut him right off at the belt.
And he's still running until,
Yeah,
like for a few seconds, yeah.
And the feet kept going. And,
Right.
But,
That's what I'm saying, you flew so low.
no, well, we were 300-400 feet.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, that's nothing. I mean, sometimes trees are 100 feet in the air. Yeah.
Boiled, yeah.